That's me. Oh, I barely made it. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank God so much for tuning in. Well, we're going to say the date because that's what the government told us to do. We're going to do the government date. Here we go. Ready? Hold your breath. Woo, it's stinky. All right. We're going to call it February 12th. It is a Thursday, trash day here at the Price House 2026. Well, we're just a couple of days, I guess. What are we doing? Saturday. Saturday is Valentine's Day. If you guys ever looked up the whole Valentine's of things, you would probably not celebrate it, but hey, what do I know? We do know that Hallmark and the cookie companies and the cake companies and restaurant companies and card companies and candy companies and flower companies all depend on your loyalty to Valentine's Day, a day that you tell the person that you like them. Hi, I like you. Today's a different day than any other day of the year. I like you. Okay, all right. I just made that observation out of nowhere, so I don't know if everybody's paying attention or not, but we'll see. Edward, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here. And I will tell you, they changed some things on Restream on the... Guys, I am tired of computer programmers, like, changing and taking things away. I mean, like, it's like, can I defer back to an earlier time before you messed with all the things on my things? I don't get it. Like, I don't... anyway. All right. We do have good sound out there. I hope so. Everybody, good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Real quick, I don't know. Are you wanting to help out with the dissemination and kind of the little bit of the getting people signed up for the float trip, Ed? I don't know if it's something if you're wanting to do that. I know Julie D does have the login. I can send that to you as well as Anzel has it. With the 4 or 5 people, we could all probably figure out how to make the whole thing work real well and then get it out there and get people signing up. I did talk to them, and we do have the cabin available. I just got to come up with $4,000. Yeah, cool. I got to come up with $4,000, and if I don't do it, if I give them the $4,000, then if I don't do the event by May 1st, then if I don't do the event by May 1st, if I don't agree to it and I say I want my money back, there is a 10% restocking charge. So there's that. Anyway, but it should be a good time, guys. I don't know why we wouldn't all want to be there and be a part of that. And I'm not saying just patriots. I'm not just saying health people. I'm not just saying, we're talking about people just getting together, having a good time. Hey, maybe I hate to make this sound religious, but maybe you invite one of your non-believers and we can convert them. Like, I don't know what that means, but I mean, we could go in like they say, hey, maybe you don't believe that the vaccines are bad, but I don't know, maybe someone say, see what I can do, sir, show me the money. Oh, show you money. I ain't got no money, buddy. But I can help you, give you the login to the website so you can get yourself in there. And then once you're inside of it, you can actually send yourself an email and then give yourself an administrator part of that. So anyway, we can work that out if you want to. And it looks like something we could do there. All right. Now, I named today's episode, being today's episode, we're going to go ahead with today's episode. And I want to go to this post directly here. And I'm going to tell you what, it is breathtaking. I'm going to go ahead and go with this in the beginning of the show here. I believe that there are some cool stuff in there that in this whole video, I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to watch this. It's actually worth it. I know that it seems like, oh, hey, I'm going to do this whole thing. But just hang in there, right? Just hang in there. It's worth it. It's real. I promise you. Hey, Terrence William, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Terrence, are you down with the sickness? Are you okay with doing doing the float trip and all that. I don't know if you guys are up for it, but we kind of need to start getting a head count, and we're going to go ahead and get the website going, the Eventbrite event out, and see if we can get you guys to start putting money down or whatever. I don't know if we can do it in payments or if we take the money up front, but it's kind of a big deal that we get enough people there, because if we don't, it's just I can't do it. I can't just pay $4,000 for nobody to show up. So anyway. All right, guys, let me get you over here to Josh Hawley. And Josh Hawley gives this guy the business. And this is the Attorney General. This is the Attorney General for Minnesota, where we've had all the immigration issues. And I want to also make another announcement real quick. I am going to have Renee Good's father on my show on Monday. The lady who was shot and killed in the Honda Pilot, that whole first instance, that gentleman will be on my show on Monday. So if you guys know anybody who want to hear his side of the story or what have you, but her father will be on my show for sure. So that will be happening on Monday. All right, not sure if I will be able to go, says Terrence. Well, Terrence, figure it out, boy. All right, here we go. This is Josh Hawley today talking to the Minnesota. I wish it was guys like that were running Minnesota again. I wish we had the Minnesotans running Minnesota. But we don't. We've got guys like this. So Josh Hawley is going to give the Attorney General, the top law enforcement officer of Minnesota. Wait till you hear this. This sounds like some, and we wonder why people have certain opinions about certain people. This guy is an idiot from the word go. All right, here we go. And play.
Mr. Ellison, let me start with you. You're the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota. Do I have that correct? That's a yes?
Sir, you're aware of my job. You know the answer to that.
Ooh.
You're not going to answer my questions? Are we going to start this way? Are you the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota, yes or no?
You know the answer.
Mr. Ellison, you're in my courtroom now. You're under oath. So I suggest that you answer my questions. You the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the state of Minnesota, yes or no? Let's try another question. Are you familiar with the $9 billion in historic fraud out of your state, including the $250 million in the Feeding Our Future program alone? Are you familiar with that? Don't turn to the pages in your book to get your potted answers. Are you familiar with it? Yes or no?
Yes, I am familiar with it.
Very familiar, aren't you? Because the people who ran the Feeding Our Futures program came to you in your official office in the state capitol December 11th, 2021, and asked for your help in getting investigators off their backs. They complained to you for upwards of an hour about state investigators going after them, and they begged you to help them. And you agreed to it, amazingly. And we know you did.
That's not
because
true.
It's all caught on tape.
Yeah,
every single sentence is caught on tape. Here's what you said. Let's take a look. You said, it's not a question. You said to them, send me the names of all these folks who are investigating them. You said to them, send me their names. And I'll take that list, and I'll call the person over at Education who is investigating them and say, what's going on? Why am I getting these complaints? Then you went on to say, I already have my team working on this. What day should we get together to discuss it again?
What?
You made pledge after pledge to them. You said, we've got to make sure this guy who's investigating them stops it. You said, you have my attention. I'm concerned about this. You said, let's go fight these people, meaning the people who are investigating the fraud. Why'd you do it? Why'd you help them?
Tell us, boy.
Are you going to let me answer?
Oh, sure.
Please.
Sure. Yeah,
we're all ears.
So first of all, you're
get that microphone in your hand.
out of there.
Why did you help them?
I thought you were going to let me answer.
Why did you
Are you
help
going to let
them?
me answer?
Why did you help
You
them?
let me answer, and I'll answer you.
Tell the truth, and I'll let you answer.
I will tell the truth.
Good.
Let's do that.
That'd be a nice change. Why'd you help them?
Now see, Mr. Chairman, I didn't come here to be insulted. I came here voluntarily.
You came here for the truth. Let's have it. Why did you help them? The quotes are here. They're in black and white, and every member of this audience can listen to the recording. It's 54 minutes long. It's all in public. You can Google it right now and listen to it.
And listen to it all.
Why'd you help them?
First of all, I didn't help them.
You did help them.
No, I did not. I certainly didn't.
You're saying you didn't do anything for them.
Oops.
You didn't.
Well, wait a minute.
I already have my team working on this again. That's not you?
I have,
Oops.
I
A
have
ventriloquist?
my team.
What?
My team assisted with the information that led to the prosecution and conviction of these people.
No, you didn't. You didn't lift a finger to prosecute. No, you did not.
No, because it was a federal prosecution.
You had, BS. You had whistleblowers come to you as early as 2019.
You're the one talking BS.
Hey, listen, it's my time.
Doesn't know what you're talking about, sir.
No, sir. You now have encountered the truth and you don't like it. Why'd you take their money?
Why'd you take the money?
I didn't.
Why?
You took $10,000.
That's a false statement.
Tell me.
$1,000 9 days after the meeting.
Oops.
You took $10,000. Here's what happened. They went to your office. They solicited money from you. They solicited help from you.
That's also wrong.
They came to your office. It was your official office. You met with them for 54 minutes.
No, they didn't.
They asked you for help. You pledged it to them, and they talked repeatedly about money. In fact, it's all they talked about.
That's a lie.
Money, 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 money. They said, we will put our dollars in the right place. We will support candidates that will fight to protect our interests. You replied, that's right. They said, if you are securing your donor base and securing your power base, you can act the way you want. You replied, money is freedom.
Okay, listen, guys. When I tell you that this is a problem, and when we use the word systemic means throughout, means that it's everywhere, and that's all you have to say. You don't have to say the word systemic. But throughout our entire country, and throughout the society of our earth for right now, and I don't know why, but we have allowed for this type of behavior to happen where this gentleman is being quoted exactly what he said. 54-minute conversation that was recorded. And he's taking exactly his words. And the guy's going, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. What the? This is why guys, I guess it's the yin into my yang, or my yang to my yin. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this, because this is the ideology that we're all beating our heads against. This is the top law enforcement officer of Minnesota. Okay? Like, this guy is supposed to be the lawyer of lawyers. He's supposed to be the coolest guy you got. They elected this gentleman. This guy was not selected or put in there by, boop-a-doo-ba-doo. People bothered to vote for this guy. And whether they actually voted him in or not, I'm not gonna, that's not today's topic, okay? We all know the elections are bullshit, okay? We know that. We're all trying to do our goddamn best to go and vote and act like it matters. But we're supposed to be getting there. By the way, we do know, I saw that, Jonathan. I'll see if I can get that done today. I apologize. I forgot about it. I was re-upping my Twitter because my Twitter, for some reason, was not posting out. But, okay, so we know that the election's got to be fixed. Today, the House of Representatives actually voted out of the House, miracle of miracles, the SAVE Act, where we actually have voter ID and where we're requiring people to show identification. Not that is because you have a driver's license, you can vote in our goddamn country. No, it's because you have to actually register to vote with birth certificate validated IDs. In other words, you have to have a social security, you have to have a birth certificate, and you have a place of residency to be able to get that ID. And that's the kind of ID that is required then to be able to get you on the voter roll. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, the problem is it actually goes back to the driver's license qualifications in a lot of states, but we're going to go ahead and qualify this differently. But the point of this is this guy is the law enforcement. This is the guy that sends people to jail for suspended license. This is the guy who will release a guy into the public with an ICE detainer for murder. That's this guy. And this guy who we have the receipts, the $10,000 transaction, it's not fictitious. And when just a second here, Howie is going to actually bring up the New York Post, and he's going to bring up another article from his own state. And the guy's going to say they're both not right. That's not true. None of that's real. Those aren't real. But yet he shows him the facts. He shows him the transcripts. And yet this is what we're dealing with in our country. And you guys want to suffer fools by arguing with them. And this is where I like, guys, if you just ignore them and go do what we have to do without asking their goddamn permission all the time, quit being polite and just do the right stuff. Quit including them. They'll join in. It always happens. They fluctuate back and forth. But anyway, let's get back into it here. Yeah, Jonathan, we'll get that done. So we'll hopefully get that out on tomorrow's episode. But I will be interviewing Renee's Good's father on Monday.
Said the amount of money circulating. I'm reading the transcript. The amount of money circulating in our community today is powerful, and we haven't realizing it in a meaningful way.
So right there, he just said, he goes, I'm reading the transcript, and the Attorney General, who is held to an oath and holds other people to oaths, if they lie in the court, if they perjure themselves, if they do whatever, if they mislead a official, he will put them in jail for a long, long time. But this guy literally just said, you're misreading my quote, when it's up on the damn board right next to Howley. And it's actually his words, and they're actually on the public forum. You could go right now and type in and watch the 50 or 42 minutes of this by yourself. But we are over here asking these people permission to be able to be free. We have to. You think we're going to ask them permission to stop talking about masks? We can ask them permission to stop talking about getting injections. We're going to ask them permission to stop talking. Please, sir, would you stop talking about abortions? Please, sir, would you quit talking about migrants? Why would you do that? The sad part of it is that we continue to move forward, and we know that what we're doing is actually according to the law, and it's really moral in a lot of ways. But this guy is this is a law enforcement officer who will tell you that cops never lie, and all that. And the judges are the most, amazing people on earth, and they walk on water. Continuing on.
And you said, give me the specifics. And 9 days later, you took $10,000
that's a lie.
From people who were then indicted. It's in your reports.
It's in his own report.
Sir,
was it worth it?
You know what? This is a theatrical performance.
10,000. This is the truth. This is what accountability looks like, of which you've had none.
No.
You helped fraudsters defraud your state and this government of $9 billion, and you got a fat campaign contribution out of it. You ought to be indicted.
True.
Well, that's the truth.
I think we've made the point. Let's keep the tenor just
for the record.
I'll ask how I want.
He's lying, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is all on the record,
sir.
Did you bother Did you bother to investigate where the money that you facilitated their fraud for, where it went? Do you know where it went, what it was used for, the fraudulent money? I do, because we just heard testimony about it yesterday.
Because we were key players in the
hundreds of millions of dollars to terrorist groups, to transnational criminal organizations, to the drug trade, to drug trafficking, to child trafficking. And you took $10,000.
That's a lie.
And helped them do it. The other thing is, whistleblowers came to you as early as 2019. Let's look. As early as 2019, whistleblower. Don't talk over me. As early as 2019, it's my hearing, pal. As early as 2019.
Don't call me
whistleblowers came to, well, I should call you prisoner because you ought to be in jail.
Well, we'll see what you can do about it.
In 2019,
see what you can do about it?
Came to you in your office and referred to you fraud allegations from Feeding Our Futures, and you blew them off. Listen, your own state newspaper investigated it. The Minnesota Star Tribune, the Partners in Nutrition, brought its concerns to the Attorney General's office in 2018 and in 2019, and you did nothing. You did nothing for years. The only action you took is, once all these fraudsters came to your office and asked you to get involved and offered you money, then you got involved. Then you took the money, and then you got involved.
They did not come to my office. You're completely wrong about that.
You met with them for 54 minutes, and you took $10,000, and they also gave your family money. They gave your family thousands of dollars in campaign contributions.
This is a false statement.
Let's put
this is completely untrue.
The New York Post.
Yeah, we know the New York Post.
Minnesota Keith Ellison, AG, accepted campaign donations from individuals linked to the $250 million COVID fraud scheme after they were in your office. The donations came on December 20th.
Sir,
you met with them on December the 11th, and on January 20th, the FBI knocked over their headquarters.
No.
That's the sequence of events here.
No, it's not.
You've been right at the center of this fraud thing from the beginning, and you've enabled it. And, sir,
the false
you should resign.
Yeah. And, sir, you should resign. I was thinking the same thing about you.
I think the same thing about you. I think the same about you. I think that's what we gotta do. I think you should resign. That's what I was thinking about you. I mean, guys, listen. This is we're supposed to take our government serious, right? We're supposed to take these blue hairs out there going, this is the worst, and they're the boo-boo-goos, and Black Lives Matter, and all this other bullshit, right? We're supposed to take them serious too, right? We're supposed to take our government serious. We're supposed to take the attorney generals in our state serious. So some guy shows up with a badge and a gun at my house, and the attorney general talks like this and acts like this and has this in his background and in his daily life. I think we have to do a lot of questioning of a lot of things, and we've got to get this right. We got to get this better. There's a lot about this whole world that we're in right now, guys, and I don't know. I don't think that going and asking them asking them permission or asking them to play nice or to give in. I don't think that's how it works. Now, I know we're in tax season. I know a lot of you guys have been rushing out there to go hurry up and get out there and get on to, whatever it is and get your tax returns going. And I know some of you guys depend on it. I get it. I understand. But God dang it, why are you paying into the system? Ask yourself the question. We know that our tax dollars are paying for abortions. And I don't give a shit if it's one abortion or a bazillion a year. It doesn't matter. The first abortion is too many. Oh, her life depended on it. I don't know what the F you're talking about. Oh, women's lives are in danger all the time of pregnancy and they die all the time. Atopical pregnancies, when they have it up into the fallopian tubes and it doesn't drop down, you talking about that? Well, a lot of times those can be saved and they can be moved down if caught early enough with early care. But yes, sometimes those have to be taken out. And yes, that is a bad thing that happens because that baby did not settle into the uterus. That egg did not fall down with the philia that brings it down into I'm sorry, it didn't happen. But that's not an abortion. But I don't want to suffer fools who want to talk about what they think they know and what they think they understand. But guys, we don't have to give these people any of this. We don't have to give them any of this. Now, my government, if I had right now at my front door and all of a sudden there's a knock, bang, 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 there's a guy with a Smokey the Bear hat and or a little ball cap that says sheriff on it or, whatever the hell they want to show up with. And it doesn't matter because we just have to assume that they're cops, right? Or a Wichita PD, and all of a sudden they're like, sir, you got to go with me. Guys, am I supposed to, am I supposed to represent myself as honorable and dignified, but yet know that they have a qualification problem of their own? They have a bonding issue part of their oath of office is an issue as well. How about the fact that we know that so many of them have had quote unquote immunity in their lives, yet there's no immunity. Qualified immunity, I don't understand why it is that they can't be held liable for harm of others. That's kind of a hell of a life, right? You can go get a gun and a badge and you can just do shit and nobody cares. Well, unless they suddenly decide to go ahead and throw you under the bus and then they'll prosecute you. But if they think you're one of the good boys and you kind of hang out with them and shit and you're kind of cool on the weekends and this and that, well, they'll make sure and cover for you and say that's an internal thing and they'll settle with the family out of court. Guys, as every single part, am I the only one that even if Ed was doing something wrong, I would call him out on it or distance myself from it? Am I weird? But everybody else in these careers, these firemen and teachers and congressmen and bankers, is what the F are we doing with all these little cool kids clubs? Is that why they came after me so hard? Because I don't want to play in their little stupid little game? I like being part of fraternities and sororities or whatever the hell we're supposed to be a part of as men. I like being a part of groups and being part of social groups. But if one of my fellow men was doing something wrong, I'm going to call him on it and tell him to be held accountable for that. And that he needs to make it right for whatever it was. Is that so rare? Am I speaking something that sounds like dear to dear? I mean, I guess I need to ask that question right now. I need to slow this whole thing down. Is it because I do see that, I'm not saying that I'm perfect. God dang, guys, let's not even try to have that argument. But, I mean, is it so rare to say that if Ed was screwing up and he was doing some things, I'm like, hey, Ed, maybe this isn't something you should be doing, or, hey, Ed, I've noticed there's some thises and that's, and it's come to my attention. Shouldn't I be my brother's keeper? Not that I answer for him, but I do worry about him and I do care about him. And if I see him failing, I see it. But yet in the doctors and lawyers and the judges and the cops and the DAs and the fire department and the sheriffs and the legislators and the bankers, they're all in these little cliques. They're all in their little high school, little slapping each other on the ass, little boy bullshit. Because they cover for each other and they do all this shit, and then everybody sees it because they're public servants. Except for the bankers, they've never been a public anything except for a noose around our neck. But am I so rare? Am I losing my freaking mind? Did I just say something that sounds lunatic? That if I knew Ed was doing something, I'd say, hey, dude, I'm out. If you're going to be doing that, we can't be friends. I can't be around you. We're not going to be a part of this. But where am I supposed to take that state trooper, sheriff, PD, marshal? How am I supposed to take them serious when there is such a multi-tiered judicial system of who's in and out of the cool kids club, who's got zeros in their bank account, who kissed the right ass or sucked the right whatever? Guys, am I losing my mind here? Am I out here on a plateau all by myself? That you just don't associate with you, and just like when through the Epstein files, that Trump was actually a mortal enemy of Epstein, and the fact that he was the reason that Epstein got charged with his original pedophile crimes. I mean, that's come out in the Epstein files, but I still got people as of yesterday still calling Trump a pedophile. So which way is up? But I'm asking you guys, if I move myself away and I don't associate with certain this or certain that, or don't do this or I don't do that, or I do this or I do that or I do this, guys, I know what decisions I make for my life, and I know what those consequences mean. And I'm very responsible for the things I put in my body because I'm trying to live, and I love living, and I love my body, and I love experiencing life. And so I'm going to do everything I can and make sure I've got the minerals right, and I got the mushrooms right, and I'm doing the right things with my body. But god dang, guys, I don't understand what are we doing here? Hey, Sarah, good to see you. Danica, good to see you. You are, Danica says, you are weird, but not for that. No, I appreciate that. But yes, guys, this idea that, and guys, listen, okay, here's another thing. Remember I told you this about, I don't know if I said this directly on this show lately. It's probably been a year or so, but listen, when you're Hillary Clinton and you have stolen 20% of the world's power's uranium and sold it to their considered mortal enemy, when you do the uranium one thing, guys, what's going to get you off after that? I mean, come on, honestly. And women, I guess, maybe some women have a hard time with that. Maybe she just, her and Bill weren't hitting it off, or whoever Aberdeen she was doing. But see, the thing is, guys, once you have screwed over the largest country, the most forcible country on Earth's history, that at least as we know in the last couple hundred years, because we don't know what happened a couple hundred years before that. But anyway, when you screw them over, Hillary Clinton, Uranium One, Benghazi, what gets you off? I mean, seriously, guys, you want to know why there's Epsteins of the world is because there's a point when you've got billions of dollars and everybody just kisses your ass all the time and your tum-tum still hurts when you eat shitty food and you're like, well, my life is a little bit, it's not exciting anymore. All these big boats and airplanes and all these people kissing my ass wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Well, just like I said the other day, well, God dang it. If I got to kill kids or eat kids to be a billionaire, count me out. There's a lot of other shit I can do with the billions of dollars that people have, and it has nothing to do with eating children. Seriously. Give me a couple $100 billion and watch me really do some amazing shit. Seriously. And it won't be charity. No. It'll be amazing. But the thing is, my point of this whole thing is, are we not moral enough that I don't understand that the head law enforcement officer of Minnesota is literally doing nanner nanner boo boo in a congressional hearing where he just got through swearing on, this is my Bible from when I was a kid, swearing on a Bible. I don't know if it's the right, how do you do it? The right hand or is the left? You raise your right hand and your left hand. You know, I do solemnly swear to tell the truth and the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. You know, I just, this guy's under oath. He just said that none of this happened. Isn't that perjury? Doesn't that perjure him? By him saying that it didn't happen, which is on video, recording, and audio and transcripts, the whole thing. What? That's got to be perjury, right? I mean, if I got up there and said that shit, they'd have my ass tattooed, and I'd be gone. I'd be screwed, glued, and tattooed, and it'd be done. I'd be over. And maybe that's why they only got me with what they did, and they never got me with anything. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I've always been the one. I've always tried to do the right thing in a lot of things, and, you know, not always does it always work out that way. Not everybody benefits at everything in life, even if you try your hardest. But guys, listen, these people, this guy got up there, and this guy's making like two. Okay, let's ask the question real quick. Let's see here. Give me a second here. I'm typing. I don't want to give it away. Okay, so the Attorney General makes $200,000 a year, just under $200,000 a year. Now that means also that he has a contributing factor of a state retirement that he fully gets vested. And by the way, depending on how they do things and they sneak little things in here or there, you can be fully vested in like a year on your retirement. So that means that, you know, they're dumping extra money into his retirement. He's making $200,000 a year. Plus he has a staff car. Plus he has an entourage. Plus he has a budget. Don't get me started. But my point of it is, guys, is this is really crazy that this guy's making 200 G's plus whatever it costs just to have the guy in office, because he's got all these other, other extensions of himself, meaning his staff and all the other stuff. Security, because I'm so dangerous. But god dang, guys, I mean, this is... What am I supposed to do in my state? What am I supposed to do in other states? What am I supposed to say or feel about this? I look at what this guy is doing, and I think he's perjuring himself out in front of everybody, but nobody is really picking that up. Am I wrong? Am I off? But what do I want to do if I got a guy at my door, or if I got flashing lights in my mirror? What happens then? Am I supposed to go, oh my gosh, you guys, whoo, thank you, high five. You know, you guys' transparency and your ability to be held accountable for crimes that you commit and things that you have done to other people. Man, thank you so much. Thanks for coming and get me and do whatever it is you're going to do to me. Awesome sauce. But what about in Florida right now? Governor DeSantis actually signed into law that you cannot disparage Jews. And here's my problem. Or Israel. It's not Jews. It's actually the law is not written Jews. It's actually Israel. You can't talk shit on a country. And I don't know where we get off not being able to talk shit on whoever we want to talk shit about, because I thought that was the whole freedom of speech thing. I thought we were doing that thing here in America. But now we're signing into law things that say, well, I can't say shit about Israel. I've seen the satellite photos of what Gaza looked like 10 years ago and what Gaza looks like today. The Gaza Strip. Now, I don't give a shit what you think about your religion is, but those are human beings still. And whether you think that they're invaders or not, this is a country that was moved aside after World War II. The Palestinians were living in Palestine before it became Israel. So please don't do that. No World War II history and Eisenhower's effect on the global war machine that has been churning out wars since World War II, but just in smaller skirmishes so you don't really notice. We spent $22 trillion on the Middle East. How's that oil tasting to you? Oh, you're saying that we need that? We don't need that oil. But now we've got stories going back around that, hey, we got to get in there and get a hold of Iran and all their stuff. But everybody says that Iran's holding out the last bit of the Gilgamesh and the, who's the other guy? Nimrod. Which were in the emails that Hillary Clinton had on the server that was stored in a bathroom cabinet over the toilet. Hey, it's cool, man. I don't blame anybody for putting a wireless router wherever they got to put it. I don't give two shits. But the problem is the fact is what she had on that server was really what the problem was. That's where it really came down to. And so let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about how we know that there are things out there like Anthony Weiner's laptop, and we know all this other stuff is out there, but we know about the Nimrod thing. We know about the Gilgamesh thing. We know what they were looking for in the Middle East and why we went in there, why we, quote unquote, let terrorists somehow hit the two most important buildings on earth. Yeah, America, we suck. We failed to protect the two most powerful buildings in all of finance and all of the world. Oh. Well, we're going to go get all those boys in the sand. We're going to blow holes in them for decades. And then that'll fix it. Guys, I cried and I got mad and I did the whole, Toby Keith and put a boot in your ass. And I got there, guys, because I'm a patriotic mother. And I'll tell you what, I love this country in ways that you guys don't understand. I really, honestly do. I still cry when I hear the Star Spangled Banner. I cry when I watch these Olympians winning medals or winning gold. When that little weirdo from Blazing, what's that movie with the skaters in it? Blades of Glory. He looks similar to that kid and has this freakish talents. And I'm getting goosebumps and I'm getting a little tear in my eye watching this guy just whoop ass because we're America. And why not? Okay? But also we got to be pretty cool when we're America because we are the biggest and baddest and we got to kind of get it right. And that starts at home. That starts with us. That starts with our police department. And that starts with our DAs and our attorney generals and our governors, our legislators, where these people, I don't give a shit if you're perfect or not. But if you're doing things that are harming other people, maybe you have a past, maybe you did some things wrong, I don't care. But my point is, if you're reformed and you're doing fine, let's see it. But at the same time, I have legislators who are literally, oh God, they're literally killing people. And maybe they're not pulling the trigger, or maybe they're not holding their hand on the neck, but they are sending them to war. And they are putting our Border Patrol in danger. These people, it's got to be stopped. But listen, when you have screwed over the world, what gets you there? And you wonder why they're trying to eat kids and be vampire-ish and all this other shit and trying to stay alive and be forever. That's what they're trying to do. And they're just trying to feel normal, and they're just trying to feel a little bit of, they're just trying to feel. Because they're so dead inside, they've given up so much. Their soul has been gone out of them, and they're looking, and they're just trying to feel. They just want to feel. They want to feel. And because they're so dysregulated, because they've killed people, and because they've screwed people over, and they've actually literally have done harm, some of these people have literally done horrific things, what's left for them? All they have is emptiness. All they have is nothingness. That's the problem. And then they look for ways to try to figure it out and get it back and do the other things. And if you're reading the Epstein files and you're watching any of this and following any of this, you're seeing that this is all absolutely true. And it's not me making it up. They've been trying to reconstitute eternal life, trying to find the Holy Grail, like they showed you in Raiders of the Lost Ark. They showed you what they've been doing in World War I and World War II. They showed you why they were in the deserts of the Sahara, why they were in Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan and Egypt. They're looking for eternal life. They really are. That's what the Rothschilds sent them out to do. That's what the World Bank sent Germany out to do. But then it looked like they were just kind of conquering the world, and so then everybody got involved, and everybody was battling everybody. But what were we really doing but destroying artifacts and getting rid of history and Tartarias? Evidence that is literally still here today. World War I and World War II was to destroy the history so we wouldn't know where we really came from. And they've continued that on to get rid of the greatest in our generations by killing off the bravest into war. By the way, America, the strongest military on earth, always has a volunteer, just a volunteer army. And have always been able to train the most amazing fighters and amazing tactical minds on earth. It has come out of America over and over and over and over again. And yet we are still killing the best of us on those fields, those battlefields, like we did in World War I and World War II, where we killed millions and millions of fighting age men who are willing to brave the Nazis. The Nazis, which were actually the Khazarian Mafia, but we'll talk about that another time. So the problem with this whole thing is, guys, is that we know that the things are there. We know what the history really says, but we know who was financing Germany. Germany didn't have an industry where they were exporting BMWs while then taking over other parts of the world. These countries were borrowing money against their future. They were borrowing money. No, they were both being paid. All of Europe and all of Germany and all of Russia and all the other ones were being paid to go battle each other by getting rid of the best of us. 6 million Russian men volunteered and died in World War I. 6 million Russian men volunteered and died during World War I. So my point is that's when we resettled from czars and kings to prime ministers and presidents. Just this little sleight of hand. We just changed the names, but it's still the same bloodlines, isn't it? Isn't that what that little sixth grader proved with her whole DNA and lineage of everybody who has been in the bloodline except for Trump? 444, good to see that. Thank you, Edward, for that. Appreciate it. So again, guys, this is one of those things where you got to think about this whole thing through and what we're doing and what these people are doing. But I will tell you, if I am supposed to respect a lot of these people, you want me to respect a lot of this stuff, well, they've got to get better. They've got to do better. Me looking at what they're doing, it's absolutely just like, you guys can't do this. It's got to stop. So my point is that we need authenticity. We don't need religion. Just listen to me for a second. We don't need patriotism. We don't need banking. We don't need lending. We need authenticity. Once you get to authenticity, that is where all this really doesn't make sense anymore, and it really does stop. But that black gentleman for the Attorney General for Minnesota, which he could be this amazing, articulate man and show pride and respect and be dignified and say, you know what, listen, I didn't realize what I was saying. These people kind of got at me, and I was talking, and I thought I was doing the right thing, and and then they gave me some money on my campaign, and then find out, boom, there's a Fed thing. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. A lot of things happened there. I have since donated $10,000 to the local, halfway house or whatever. There's a lot of things that guy could have done differently, and it would have not even affected him at all. That $10,000 and any of that, he's like, well, this is theatrics. Dude, you listen to yourself. So I look around at these guys and I say, where do you want me to start when you say, hey, you want me to respect your authority? Well, what does that mean? That if I have enough zeros, you're just going to have to talk to me and send me an email? Or are you going to, meet me at a banquet somewhere we happen to both be, where I'm actually, hosting the thing, and you come tell me because I've got all this money, and that I'll give you a little bit of, slide cash over to you, a little $10,000 handshake or something. So the point is it access? Is it money? Is it got a little penis, a big penis, big boobs, little boobs? What, I mean, because the women do it too, so it's not even. I know I was talking about men side of it here, but I guess I was giving it from my perspective as a man. But where do we get better than this? Where is this going to stop? Because the sad part of it is that politics have become so brutal and so vicious that the men that maybe have a DUI, or the men that maybe have a, drunken disorderly, or maybe has a, whatever it is, something in his background from when he was a kid, maybe he doesn't want to go into politics because he knows he'll be crucified over something that was a couple kids doing stupid shit on a dirt road. But he'll be crucified for it. But the men who are the strong men who bust their knuckles and do the work and have got the scruffy beards, but they got the heart of gold, and they go to all their kids' practices and they show up for the birthday parties, and they may be tired and they may be dirty, but they're there. And those are the men that we were supposed to elect. Those are the men that we're supposed to want to be a part of our government. Because they know what work is, and they know what it means to invest, and to invest in things that will actually have return, and things that will actually gain value, not to pay off somebody because they bitch and moan enough. Or maybe because they gave you some money so you don't mind giving away 10 million times more of someone else's money. Oh, you get $10,000, but you're going to give away $10 billion to this company over here. Think about that exchange rate. Who's really getting screwed, honestly? I mean, yeah, we're getting screwed for the $10 billion, but god dang, dude, you get 10,000 out of $10 billion? Like, I think you kind of got hosed. Or $8 billion is right where they're at now. Do you see what I'm saying? This is where I don't get these people. They sell themselves for shit, for nothing. They don't even try. And I know I went on this whole thing with just this one article a day, and I didn't mean to do that, but at the same time, it really is amazing that this is okay. That we don't have the moral fortitude to just own it. Own it. And as Josh Hawley said, the lack of accountability is why you're not held accountable, and that's why you don't know what this is like, is because I'm trying to hold you accountable, and this is my court. And the thing is that guy knew. That guy knew he was out of line. He knew he was overstepping. He knew all that, and he still did it anyway because he does not care. So why do I care? Why do I have to care? That's where civil war is created. That's where Disruption of systems is created. And that's why it's so dangerous for dumbasses like him who think that he's all cutesy and getting a little attaboy from his people back home, or some girl's going to give him an extra little wink or a little bit of whatever. And it's like, dude, that's what did you do that for? Why did you destroy the credibility of your office with your bad behavior? Why? Was it worth it? You understand what I'm saying, right? You get this. So, all right, guys, I didn't mean to go off on all that again, but hey, there we are. All right, Ed, thank you so much for being a part of all of the chats. It was good seeing you guys today. Tomorrow is Friday, so it should be we should be going into some really cool stuff here coming up in the next couple months. I do have a possibility of traveling next Thursday. I'm not sure. I was supposed to go to a conference in L.A. To sell my mushrooms, but not sure if I'll make it. So no money's for the plane tickets. They don't do that shit for free. Anyway, I'd like them to. And really, why is it? I did the business cases on airlines, and I just kind of averaged out their pricing and stuff. I don't know why pricing is so high, other than there's a lot of government money on the backside, the 9/11 stuff. But I don't know. Anyway. There's sometimes the tickets are so cheap, I'm like, God dang, how'd you guys do this? And then there's other times like, what in the... This plane isn't even half full. You guys are killing me here, but you guys already made your money. Anyway, so I know how it works. Anyway, money's money. Hey, that's what gets us all, right? All right, guys, remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, the less it to do for you. Learn how to be selfless and not so damn selfish. The world will be a far, far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast, do not give up, do not give in. We will win. I promise. I make promises I can't keep, guys. You've always been the answer out there. Remember that Constitution? Yeah, that hemp paper, that right there limits the government. Never limits you. That is your Constitution. You just got to own that, man. You got to own it. You got to know what you're doing there. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Remember, it's all about you, right? You guys got to put forth the effort. We got to do the right things. That's about it for me, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys all be good to each other out there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.